for food, and they will, so please hold on to it.
What's going on, guys?
Now, as we explore these beautiful Everglades, we may encounter birds, fish, turtles.
Ew.
We may even see some iguanas lounging in these trees. And actually, if you look to your left right now, you're going to see a bird in the tree with a very long neck. All black bird, that guy's known as your anhinga, or some people like to call it the snake bird. And don't worry, right side, I'm going to spin the boat. Hopefully he stays right there. Just so you all can see, and I will try my best throughout this trip to spin the boats where you guys can see the wildlife. Now this anhinga, being all black, or your snake bird, lets me know that this guy's a male. The females don't have tan necks and tan bellies. Now these birds, they can swim about 15 miles an hour under the water, and they also spearfish with their beak. Toss it up.
We're gonna go
there
find
and swallow
EBZ.
them whole. That's why they tend to call them snake birds as well.
Where are you, Ebenezer?
Gator. But that's your
Gator.
anhinga.
Where are you, EBZ? Where is he?
Now, of course, my ultimate goal is to show you a
Everybody
North
says
American
hello.
alligator
Lauren.
and its natural habitat. And to add some excitement to this tour, we're going to hit 3 speed trail. Now, we're actually at the mouth of our very first speed trail. So please do me a grand favor and make sure all loose items are secure. Also, I noticed this boat is leaning somewhat to the left. If I can get some of the bodies or some of the weight shifted to the right-hand side of the boat, just for while we're going fast. While I'm going slow, it doesn't make a difference, but as far as going fast, it makes it easier to handle the boat. So just spread yourselves evenly along these rows. Also, make sure all loose items are secure, and very important, anything you don't want wet. Have it up off this floor for me. When I slow down the boat, some water rolls under our feet. Perfectly normal, but if you don't want stuff wet, I don't want it wet, so go ahead and pick it up. Now your first speed trail begins right now in 3, 2, 1. Now, of course, folks, they were unsuccessful in draining these Everglades. See, below us, we have that riverbed. Below that riverbed lies some coral, but most importantly, below the coral lies an aquifer that feeds these Everglades on a daily basis. Now, as you take a moment to look around us right now, folks, you can see why our Native American friends nicknamed the Everglades the Endless River of Grass. There's actually 2 main species of grass that call these Everglades home. Now, the first species I want to talk about is native to the area. Actually, they named a highway after it. And this, my friends, is your sawgrass. consists of 3 extremely sharp and jagged edges. If you run your fingers up a blade of sawgrass, you should be alright. Now, I'm not making any promises. This world's crazy and things do happen, but you should be okay. But running your fingers down a blade of sawgrass, well, hence the name sawgrass. And I kind of figured this one the hard way, growing up as a child. And also, if you look outside the left-hand side of the boat, that drier grass you see in the trees, there's a bigger patch coming up on the left. It's true. Now, cattail grass consists of 2 soft edges. It's actually planted here by our Native American friends as a form of water purification. Now, these Everglades, they catch a lot of dirty water, folks, or dirty water runoff, I should say, from those sugar mills that surround Lake Okeechobee. And yes, those Everglades began at Lake Okeechobee. Also, just the farms in the surrounding areas, but the dirtiest water runoff of them all would be from those city streets. And the rooting system of this cattail grass, it helps absorb impurities or toxins, bacteria, from the river's water. Now, little did our Native American friends know when they were planting on the cattail grass that it was going to take over the Everglades. Cast a shadow amongst nature, and unfortunately causing them not to grow. Also, if you take a look at this cattail grass, you're going to notice a lot of it's dead, but still standing. That is because it takes 9 months for cattail grass to decompose. Major fire threat out here. If you're from the area, you know it only takes 1 bolt of lightning. Unfortunately, cigarettes and car accidents do it too. That Tamiami Trail cuts right through the Everglades.
That is my pretty girlfriend. Yes, it is. She's
Now,
very
when
pretty.
the Army Corps of Engineers were doing the dredging of the canal systems, they did not exactly have a plan what to do with all of the debris.
Where's ABC?
We're looking for him.
So they made random debris piles throughout these Everglades. These debris piles actually resulted into miniature islands. And that brings us to this area more specifically. Now, locals like to call this area Vulture's Island. And that is because if you come to this area more specifically when the sun's about to set, there's over 300, 400 vultures hanging in the trees. Right hand side of the boat, if you look outside to the right, you're going to see one of my vulture friends. Now that guy more specifically is called your Great American Vulture. Look closely at him, you're going to notice he has a gray featherless head.
Let's see. Yeah, she's gonna spin the boat around.
Now there's another species of vulture that likes to hang out in this area. He's called your turkey vulture.
Where is it?
And they have red feathers. A Great American Vulture, and actually there's 2 of them flying right in front of us. If you also look at these Great American Vultures, you're going to notice just the tips of their wings have white feathers. Turkey vultures, the whole underside of their wings, they have white feathers. Another good way to tell the difference between the 2, if you can't see their heads up close. Now, a fun fact about these vultures, although this girl does not find it to be that fun or cute. Well, we're in the beginning of fall, but it's pretty hot out here. Summer and beginning of fall.
West side.
And these vultures, they gotta find other ways to stay cool besides taking bird baths, like our other birdie friends. And one of these ways, well, these guys, they'll just poop right down their little birdie lake. Oh yeah, you heard me right. These vultures, they like to poop on themselves.
Sounds like Justin.
Now, the reason why they do this, folks, is because they don't develop natural oils like our other bird friends that make water just bead right off their feathers. When they're soaking wet, it makes it kind of hard for them to fly. They gotta wait till they're for the most part dry. They're not gonna be completely dry, but they gotta be pretty dry in order to fly. So rather than take a bird bath like most of our birdie friends, these guys, our vultures, they'll just poop right down their little birdie lake. And once again, folks, this area is known as Vulture Islands. And if you look into the trees right now, you're going to see some more of our vulture friends. Now, of course, folks, I've been looking for alligators this entire time, but I've been finding them a little bit. I don't always catch everything, and it is this time. These guys, because these guys, they're nocturnal. They can get some sun or put themselves right down there. So these guys are busy being lazy right now. And leave your hands above my roof to where I can see. Now we are going to go down another speed trail. We're only going to be going fast here for a minute or so. Just need to get a little deeper into these Everglades, see if I can find some gators for y'all. Also, make sure loose items are secure. Hats, sunglasses, cell phones, backpacks, anything. And anything you don't want wet is up off that floor. And here we go. John's River. But this area, more specifically the Shiner's Hole, boom shot. Now, us captains, we tend to get of our alligators out here in this and the vegetation. Now, alligators, they like to keep their core temperature between 75 and 85 degrees. When they start getting too toasty, they'll use this cattail grass as an umbrella or these lily pads or spatter dog plants. Now, another cool feature of your cattail grass, it never roots itself. It's always floating amongst this river water. And these gators, they can tuck their bodies right underneath the rooting system and use it for shade. Now, they'll also use these plants just to block them from the wind or extreme rain. So basically, I'm just looking for one of my alligators to be hanging out and floating around in this water in this area. Sawgrass looks like there is a big old patch of it coming up on the left hand side of the boat. Now it's pretty shallow right here, so this specific patch of sawgrass is able to root itself. And believe it or not, we're actually in our high season for the water level out here. This specific area, when we are in low season, we get as shallow as about 2 inches, 3 inches deep. But that's all the depth you really need for these airboats. You need about 2 inches, 3 inches of water when we're packed down, when we have about 15, 16 people on board, and about a foot of mud underneath. Now, smaller airboats, they can drive on dry land. these bigger guys, they need a little bit of water. Now every once in a while we do get stuck, and a good way to get unstuck is, believe it or not, is some dial soap. Pour a little bit of soap, make it a little bit slippery, wiggle your rudders a little bit, and you get out of a shallow area. Now while we're cruising this plant life around us, I want to tell you a little bit about it while we're looking for these alligators.
Lauren's having a great
I
time.
used to think every leaf that grew from the river's water was a lily pad. Now I've done my research and I've learned a thing or two, and I've learned that all this stuff that's surrounding us in abundance, this stuff's called spatter dog.
Did you say spider what?
Now, if you look closely at the spatter dog plant, you're going to notice it has a heart-shaped leaf that sits slightly above the river's water. It is also accompanied by beautiful yellow flowers. Now, a cool feature of the spatter dog plant, you're only going to find it in water levels of 6 feet or less. That is because this spatter dog plant only grows to be about 6 feet in length. But most importantly, it needs to attach itself to this riverbed bottom in order to grow. Now we do have lily pads out here. They actually have circular shaped leaves that lie flat along the river's water.
No.
And they are accompanied by beautiful white flower. Now there's actually a patch of it coming up on the right-hand side of the boat. Don't worry, left-hand side of the boat, I'm going to spin so you can see. Also keep your eyes peeled in this specific area for alligators. This is where I was spotting them. You never know where they're going to move to. They do have territories amongst them, but they'll move around the territory. And there's normally an apex gator that rules the area. Right-hand side of the boat, you should see those common lily pads I'm talking about.
That's right.
Left-hand side, don't you worry, I'm going to spin so you can see. Left-hand side, you should be able to see those circular shaped leaves, the white flowers. Those are common lily pads. Now, if it starts getting too hot or too windy out here, these flowers, they close up. Or extreme wind, they'll tuck themselves away too. I told him to put gas in this boat before we left the dock. Everybody can row, right? No, I'm just kidding. I got birds up here. All right, let me introduce you guys to my friends real quick, okay? Because I'm getting attacked up here. These guys, they're called braggle. I told you I was getting attacked up here. They're attacking my hands. Now, brown ones are females. Black ones, they're males, okay? Hey guys, no fighting on me, okay? All right. Now you're gonna see some that are brown and black. No worry, they'll come to that side of the boat too. Let me come over here. You'll see some that are brown and black. The brown and black ones, they're juvenile straggles, okay? You'll probably see some of the brown ones. I got you, haha. You'll probably see some of these brown ones feeding the black ones. They're the mom, okay? Now I brought extra bread with me. I'm gonna pass it out for you guys, okay? Very important, okay? These birds, they haven't had a pedicure in a long time, so they might scratch you, okay? Number one, okay? So don't, yeah, it's not really bad. They're not gonna bite you, but I like to always give everybody a heads up, okay? Number two, an alligator pops up, okay? They have excellent hearing, okay? An alligator pops up while we're feeding the birds, and you can even feed the fish that are in the water, because you'll probably see a bunch of them. Stop feeding, okay? Illegal to feed alligators. They call it enticing too. So I don't want to lose my captain's license. Y'all can lose your Florida driver's license wherever state you have it from. Any hunting licenses or fishing licenses you have too if you get caught feeding a gator, bear, any predatory animal, okay? So just to give you a heads up, if you're not with a tour guide, you still can get in trouble, okay? All right, so I'm going to pass out some bread before they start flying in the boat. All right.
Watch out, Lauren.
No Don't worry, guys. I'm
Lose your
using
license.
100% whole grain wheat bread. I'm trying to keep it healthy a little
Yeah, you can't
bit,
lose it.
okay?
Don't feed the
To each their
gators.
own. I know some people probably
This is
think
what I've done on
birds
school
stop the
trips.
birds. You may not like birds anymore because of Alfred Hitchcock.
Huh.
Okay? Break it up in small pieces. If you saw
Yeah?
me,
Is that
it only
awesome?
takes an itty bit of piece, okay? All right. Pancito for the pájaro. I know it's
Ew.
I was raised here, but my mom's Cuban Dominican. My dad's Scottish Irish. Oh, there we go. Good catch. Yep, I told you they're going to come right in. Oops, sorry.
Here. Here. You want to feed them? All right, just hold it out and you can feed the birds. Go here. Thank you.
In the water.
I'm scared. What if it bites me?
Oh, it's the birds. Come here, Mr. Birdie.
Oscar fish are primos of the piranha. Cousins. They're related, all right? So,
caught it.
have water. You can feed birds too. They'll come right up to your hand.
Let's see if we can make a gator come.
Gator.
Gator.
Ebenezer.
It might come.
Hey guys, where are you? Alright. So I just wanted to introduce these birds real quick. I'm going to keep moving because I want to find you guys gators. But another reason why I introduced them, if you decide
Look at the
to
fish.
eat when you get back to the dock, these birds, they love French fries and they will not ask permission, okay? So if you do decide to eat, make sure you guys cover your cousins of the piranha. You'll see some smaller ones. Those are some brims. You got bluegills. Also, there's some Mayan cichlids.
Bro, we're in the middle of nowhere. I'm
Mayan
sorry it's
cichlids,
buffering.
They kind of look like peacock bass. Peacock bass have 3 stripes on them. Mayan cichlids, they'll have 5 stripes on them. Very fish family, okay? All right, here we go. Let's keep moving.
You want to get? Another photo? Let's get a photo.
Here we go, chat.
Now we're going to keep moving around the vegetation because this is where we're going to find alligators too. They're going to be using these plants for shade. Now alligators on average grow about a foot a year for their first 6 years. It does slow down a bit, but full-grown females grow up to be about 10 feet long. And males grow to be about 14, 15 feet long. If I'm not mistaken, I think the largest gator on record, according to Google anyways, is 15 feet 2 inches. And it was caught right here in the Everglades.